This is Extra Large! It is what it is with your boy Nas here on Extra Large. Now, I got a guest in the Hotbox with me today, and it's Wong Yang from the Straits Times. How are you today, bro?
Hey Nas, hi. Yeah, really happy to be on the show.
Okay.
I'm doing okay. Yeah, it's a normal Thursday, quite
Ooh.
a standard day at the office, doing some interviews and doing some scripting. Yeah,
One more day before the weekend, and honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Any weekend plans?
yeah. There are quite a lot of arts events going on now, and there's a dance performance that I'm going to on Saturday night, as well as an arts walk that I'm doing on Sunday. Maybe some football.
Wow, you are an artsy person. I didn't know. Man of culture, as they say.
No. I think there are a lot of up and coming arts events in Singapore now, so it's a good time. It's a good time to like check out new things and try out something new. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned football earlier. Got me thinking. Premier League?
I watch a mix of Premier League as well as surprisingly SPL.
Wow.
So yeah, I think more people should watch local football.
Okay.
Actually, how I got into journalism was from watching local sports and following local sports.
Right.
So that piqued my interest, and that's how I wanted to be a journalist. I thought I would be a sports reporter, get to watch sports for free. Yeah. So in the end, I realized that there's more to the newspaper than the sports pages. So that's how I branched out. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. We'll get more into that later on as for your, I guess we would say origins, right?
Yeah.
For now, your popularity sort of blew up during the coverage of GE 2025 last year for the Straits Times, correct? It's almost been a year now. Tell me, how have things been like for you so far?
It's been quite a crazy year. The GE was not what we expected. I didn't expect that I'll be covering it in that role, and I was just meant to be writing the scripts and also covering GE as like a as a traditional reporter out on the ground. But eventually this opportunity came, and they decided to film me as well as my co-host on this show. So we started scripting the videos together, and surprisingly they gained some traction and did really well. And so the team decided that after the GE we will continue doing it and in a bigger way. So we have started doing this full time. We stopped doing our reporting, day-to-day kind of roles, and we moved into this space full time. So now we do the short form content on politics, policy, and governance. Yeah, so we kind of do these explainers, which became our bread and butter during the GE. Explainers on political processes or issues that Singaporeans are concerned about, especially young people. But we're also trying to do new formats, looking at debates that young people are having, or issues that they really care about. Like the loss of third spaces when the projector closed. We also did a video on that. So that's it's kind of been a whirlwind, I must say, like a very unexpected turn in in this early stage of my career. Yeah.
Honestly, really happy for you to see how you've how things have been like for you.
Yeah, thanks.
But at any point of time in your entire life, do you think you would have foreseen yourself doing this sort of
Not
thing?
at all, no.
Like even being the face of something?
Yeah, not at all, because I feel like I'm not very natural on camera to begin with. And
you look very natural on camera, just saying.
No, I just not very natural on camera, not really, never really wanted to be out there, like putting myself out there and in the limelight, preferring to kind of take a back seat. Even as a journalist, you already have a byline, and, it's already quite public facing, quite front facing, there's some public scrutiny involved. But with the videos, it's even more so because, all the eyeballs are on you, you're presenting, the lines that you say, people kind of associate with you very directly. So yeah, I never expected this to happen, but we were kind of thrust into it. And, I guess the audience kind of liked that it was kind of rough around the edges, that I wasn't very natural, that I was a bit awkward, and also kind of like, clearly like new to this space. And maybe that authenticity works with the audience in some way. So that's a strength that we've tried to lean on. But I would like to think that, over time there's been some growth and some improvement, a bit of improvement, yeah.
I think you have, for sure. I've seen you since your GE 2025 coverage days till today, your most recent video. At this point of time, I think it was about the NMPs. I think that was the one,
Yeah, so
right?
we did an NMPs video, and then the week after that, we published a video on Pritam Singh's, leader of the opposition, the debate on whether he should still be the leader of opposition.
And I remember, because obviously I have to do research about you. I have to look you up, find out what Wong Yang is doing, who Wong Yang is. Somebody said that you look like Stephen Chia Gen Z version.
Oh, okay. That's in the comments. Yeah, Tall praise.
Tall praise, bro.
Yeah.
At this point, I have to ask you, do you think you're on your way to becoming the Gen Z Stephen Chia?
I don't know. Stephen Chia is a broadcast journalist and a very, very experienced presenter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never really saw myself in broadcast. Like, always preferred, to be behind the desk writing and, going out to cover stories. So yeah, we'll have to see. We don't know what the future holds, but yeah, I'm very honored to be thought of as a Gen Z Stephen Chia.
I can tell you're blushing right now because this one is very, good high praise, as you say, right?
I really like to watch his documentaries and his shows, and also the podcast as well. Yeah.
Growing up, right? What sort of motivation drove you into journalism?
I think I mentioned earlier, I started by reading the sports pages when I was really young, really enjoyed football, basketball, and so and my family didn't subscribe to the channels to watch those sports. So the only way I could get my fix is through the sports pages and reading the papers, and I slowly was starting to wonder like, wow, this is really cool. Like you get paid to go and watch football and write about it. So I started to write my own. I started my own football blog. And started to write match reports about sports in the UK, primarily football.
Okay.
And then when I got a bit older, I went to the local football games to kind of cover the football games as well. And then slowly, I guess as I grew older, I realized that there's more to the paper than sports. And I got interested in the issues that the paper was covering, whether it's social issues or politics. Naturally, I kind of tried to pursue opportunities that would lead me to this career. So I joined the Straits Times student paper when I was 13. So I came to the newsroom the first time, like when I was this tall, really, really young. And those people that I worked with then, they're still here today. So when I returned full-time in 2024, I felt very much like a full circle moment. And I'm really glad that, sometimes like, if you pursue your interest long enough, sometimes it works out. I'm really lucky to be here.
Valid. But in terms of journalistic mentor or inspiration, is there anyone?
Okay.
Like, I don't know, somebody would say, what's that guy's name? The guy with the glasses on CNN.
The glass. It's a really old guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's escaping me now,
yes.
But he's really famous. But the other famous CNN presenter is Anderson Cooper.
Yes.
And he has this like really sharp look. And there's also Christiane Amanpour, who I think covers a lot of wars. Yeah, so she's quite well known. But locally, I think maybe it would be, he's not really, he's a sports writer. His name is Rohit Brijnath. Yeah, so he writes really poetic columns about sports and the power of sports and the art behind sports, and it really makes you appreciate the sport that much more, in considering the craft and the hard work that goes behind it. So he's a big inspiration. In fact, like I went to events where he would speak at and got his autograph. So it's quite embarrassing now that we are in the same newsroom. But he's a big inspiration. He was a big inspiration when I was young. Yeah.
But isn't that kind of beautiful in a sense though? Because like, you work long enough, you sort of see people that look up to you become.
That's true. That's true.
And I would imagine that one day you would also want the same as well. Like somebody, maybe an intern that you worked with, and then 10 years, 20 years down the road, they come back and they were like, hey, you were my hero.
That's a long time away. But we'll see.
Does your family watch your content?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're very supportive.
Supportive.
Yeah.
Was there any feedback from them that maybe, hey, Wong Yang, please try not to look so weirdly on the camera, maybe try to smile? Is there any feedback that they give you?
I think they don't understand all the references that we put. The videos are obviously targeted at a younger audience. So especially my parents, I think they might not understand every single reference, but they're very supportive. They watch the videos, and I guess they're very excited that they have gained such a, this relatively high amount of traction. I guess they'll comment on the way I sound sometimes, which is why actually early on in the GE we realized that I sound very different from my co-host because she's quite polished in the way that she presents. So I've been actually attending vocal lessons with the help of SPH. So I've been trying to sound a bit clearer and enunciate better so that I'm a bit more on par with my co-host in terms of how we sound.
For what it's worth, bro, you're sounding pretty awesome right now.
That's
and
very
very
kind.
articulate.
Very kind.
Do you miss writing articles?
For sure. Yeah, why why I joined the newsroom was to write and to chase my own stories. So that's definitely an aspect of the job that I really treasured since joining full time. But the opportunity came up to join this team, and yeah, it's a really good chance to try something new and to work in a new space. And the GE experience really like showed us the potential behind this. So yeah, that's why we said yes, and I don't regret it. I think this is a great chance to be in this space at this time. But eventually, I do hope to go back to writing more regularly.
I see. Yeah. Well, that's amazing. But since we're on the topic of writing and chasing stories, have there been any crazy moments that happened to you when you were attempting to cover a story?
For sure. I think every journalist will have a crazy story to tell you. For me, just last year, I was sent out to cover, look into the situation around public toilets in Little India.
Right.
Because a lot of public toilets there, they are portable loos. And the portable toilets there are not really, maintained as regularly as your average kind of toilet in a hawker center.
Okay.
So there's also a lot of workers who go to Little India on a Sunday. So the toilet situation there, there will be long queues for the toilets, and we had received reports that there are just too many queues and not enough toilets for the workers there. So I went down, and sometimes when you go down for a story, like you end up observing things that are not related to the story at all. So I went down to Little India on several Sundays actually, and I started noticing that there was this guy giving out pamphlets to the workers, a local man, quite an old local man. And I picked up one of the pamphlets myself, and it was in Bengali, so I didn't understand any of it. So I got a worker to help me translate, and turns out the pamphlet was for like this illegal sex pills shop. Yeah, so I started, following the workers and kind of finding out where this shop was.
Okay.
And eventually, I went to the shop and found out that it was in a very kind of secretive location and very much boarded up, and they had a lot of cameras directed everywhere. That kind of led me to share the information with my colleague who covers crime, and also to think about how I could develop that into a story. Because it's quite concerning if workers are going there and purchasing pills that are unregulated, because there might be all kinds of unknown side effects, right?
That's right.
That was quite a, exciting but also worrying and tense kind of situation that I ended up in unknowingly.
Did people approach you then when you went and followed them?
Yeah, so
how
the workers, I just followed the workers from a distance.
Okay.
It's not my first time having to do that, but eventually when I got to the shop, a shopkeeper came out and was immediately suspicious, so I had to pose as a tourist and do an accent.
What accent is that?
I did a Japanese accent. I think it helped that I was wearing a big backpack, so I looked like a tourist that day. It was. I'm not sure whether they bought it lah. Maybe they didn't buy it.
Yeah.
But they didn't stop me after that, so it was fine. But I didn't end up writing a story about it, but it's just an interesting anecdote, I guess. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually very wild. But I'm sure you have more experiences like that down the road as you get further into this career.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, time to play a quick game.
All right.
You're a journalist. I'm sure you are familiar with headlines. Okay, so this is a very simple game. I've got 5 news headlines and I've picked the craziest sounding ones. All you need to do is to tell me whether this headline is real or fake.
All right.
Okay. Headline number 1. Woman accidentally declared dead by a typo and has to fight to prove she's alive.
Wait, are these headlines from SPH? Or?
No, these are headlines from around the world.
True.
That's right. It's correct. Okay. So apparently this woman, I think in the US, so there was a typo, and then after that she sort of, I think it was during a driving license renewal, then apparently the clerk made an error, and then since then she was declared dead. Oh, no. And because of which she has to fight in court to prove that she's alive, which is pretty insane. And I mean, can you imagine if this happening in Singapore?
Yeah, no, I doubt. I mean, it might happen one day, but hopefully
it might happen, and then you'll be the one covering it. I love that. Now, second headline. NASA announces plans to build a pizza delivery drone on the moon by 2030.
False. No
Why so
way.
fast? Why so
I
quick?
mean, it's not really. It's a pizza delivery thing. I mean, there are bigger problems that they're worried about, I think. Yeah.
And you're right, it's fake because the original headline is a hotel is planning on opening one or booking rooms on the moon.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, so it's the opposite. I decided to flip it around so that it can throw you off, but apparently you're aware. Now, this third one, very cute one. China's first corgi police dog loses performance bonus after it sleeps on the job.
I feel like I've seen this somewhere. True.
And you're right.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so this cute dog fell asleep when it was on duty, and then after that the human police found out that it peed in the basin, and
What was
because
the
of that,
performance bonus? I actually wonder.
honestly I can't
Some
remember.
kind of treat or something.
I'm pretty sure, or maybe the owner got the money, I don't know. Next headline, Netflix launches reality show where contestants live in a giant hamster ball.
Wow, there are all kinds of Netflix shows now, so true.
Nope, it's fake.
No perfect record. Okay.
Actually, this one I think might come up in the new Mr. Beast games. I don't know. This might be real down the road, but not at the moment.
It could happen.
Because the fact that, it suggested this, right, means that there's somebody planning this. And final one, Japanese woman marries an AI persona created through ChatGPT.
Okay, if there's any country that this could happen, it might be Japan.
So true or false?
True.
And it's right. It's
Okay.
a real headline. She apparently actually got married to a AI bot.
chatbot.
Yeah,
Okay.
she created personalities all for him. And it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
So out of all these headlines, right, which one is your favorite?
I think the corgi one, because it's real and because it involves a dog. Like it's quite an adorable.
You're an
story.
animal lover.
No, I
aren't
wouldn't
you?
say that. That's quite a stretch. But I mean, everyone has a soft spot somewhere for animals, lah. Yeah.
Fair, valid. Okay. So now that we've asked you about these craziest headlines, right? I'm gonna ask you this. What's a hot take about journalism that you have which would shock people or even cause their jaws to drop?
Okay, I don't think this is like a jaw-dropping anecdote or like a
Okay, hit me.
statement. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll hit
hit
you. I think a lot of people think of journalists as like the be-all and end-all. Like, the journalist behind the story or like the name attached to the article is like the only person working on it. But actually, I think people don't really, can't really fathom like how many other people are involved in, putting out a story. And like every day when we write our stories, there are there are supervisors behind it, the editors, as well as the sub-editors and the copy editors who really go into the story and really edit it and come back with feedback. And then you, as a journalist, have to, make the corrections or clarify certain things that they are unsure about. So yeah, actually a lot of other people come into the story beyond the name on the article. And then beyond the editing process, there's also like the artists, the photographers and the videographers and the graphic designers, and yeah, it's just a whole bunch of other people that are behind the story, but their names might not be there. It's not really a hot take, but I realized that when I talk to my friends about like the job, they are quite surprised when they hear this, because they just kind of just see the name there and they think that, okay, this article, everything that in here is by this person. But it's just that the credit, like it or not, the credit somehow it goes to the
person who
reporter.
wrote.
But there are actually so many other people in this chain
I
that
see.
the story goes through and who, put the whether it's the artwork or the photos or videos that go into the story. Yeah.
But isn't the reason why typically that happens is because you are the face of that story?
I guess so. And you're the one who is like the first point of contact with, the story, with the newsmaker, with the person, either liaising with you from the agency or the company that the story is about. So you kind of have to do the liaising, and sometimes it's quite stressful. It's a lot of multitasking.
Yeah.
At one point, you have to talk to the photo desk, you have to talk to the video desk, and as well as the artist. So yeah, you're kind of like a call center sometimes, because everyone's just calling you, and this is just the SPH side of things. You also have to liaise with the people, the events people, and the people you're out there to cover. So yeah, it can be quite overwhelming sometimes, but I think over time you kind of get used to it. Yeah.
Wow, I really underestimated the job of a journalist there. Because I thought it was like wake up, write article, go back sleep.
Sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's like that. Yeah. Depends
but
on the job.
that's my hot take. So if anybody want to flame me, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to circle back to the part where you said you're working on social media content these days. Tell me, what are some interesting observations about how Gen Z consume news?
Yeah, I think we all know like the way people our age, younger, have kind of come to consume the news has really changed.
Right.
You're no longer reading the papers like from front to back. There's a lot of social media content. So I guess the reaction of the audience to our videos has shown that people really need like a hook to want to continue watching, because you know the attention span, I think in the span of the first 3 seconds, if you haven't hooked them, they're gone. And so it's really kind of about thinking how you open the video to kind of pique their curiosity and to and excite them or entertain them enough to make them want to continue watching.
I see.
And also I guess the other thing we learned was that the audience is a lot more discerning than you think. So the audience can really pick out nuances in the content that you put out. And sometimes you might think that, oh, this line or that line, you know, you can say it multiple ways. But actually the audience really can discern like, you know, how this sounds differently from if you were to word it, you know, another way. So you really have to like pay attention to how you word things, because you want to script the video in a way that speaks to the audience in the most like sincere and authentic way as possible.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're not so like careful or you're a bit flippant about how you script something, then it can, you know, come off as insensitive, or it can come off as, you know, not being very nuanced or well thought out to the audience. Yeah.
But is it because, okay, and this is just an opinion, and I would like your clarification on it. Is it because of the wokeism these days, especially on the social media space, right?
Right.
So does that impact any way in how you have to prepare your news?
Right. I don't think it's wokeism per se as much as it is that the mainstream media, like historically and in Singapore, you know, is quite there's a legacy to it, and as a result, there's some baggage to how it has kind of covered the news, and it's covered the news in a very kind of set way over the years, right? And that kind of has meant that some people may not feel as represented by the news, or they might not see themselves in the news as often. So as a young person in the newsroom, part of what I want to do here is to kind of make more people feel like the news actually tells their stories, and make people feel like they are seen in the news, and that we put out news content that really speaks to them sincerely. So yeah, I don't think it's wokeism so much as it is about like how we can you know, capture as wide as an audience as possible, and also tell stories that might not be told as often, that might go overlooked a bit more, and yeah, just make people feel heard. Yeah.
Those are some valid points.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I've been watching your videos also, and the energy I get is meme energy.
Yeah.
Because like the way you edit it, it's like almost as if like snap, snap, snap. That's the pace that I get.
Yeah.
So is that intentional, or is that just a format that you guys were fumbling around and you've discovered it works?
Yeah, the memes format and like this really quick kind of cuts. I think that's something that we knew that we wanted to do, like going into this. We wanted it to be snappy and like with a lot of quick cuts, and yeah, for you to be kept guessing as the viewer. You know, you never know what's going to happen next. So that's the part of the idea that we had. But the editing really comes down to our videographer, our producer, and our editor. Like they're really very, because I have no video editing experience. I can't edit any video. Maybe if you ask me like CapCut or on Instagram, I can put together a like short video. But if you ask me to edit the videos that we do, there's no way I could do it. And it really comes down to the genius of like the team behind the camera. They really like know what they're doing, and they really know the sounds to put in, or like the clips to put in to bring the script to life. Obviously, sometimes we have some input in like, oh, this like reference can be put here, or like something funny that we thought of here. But yeah, the team behind the camera, they really come into play because they know this space a lot better than us, because both of us, the co-hosts, like we are traditionally reporters. So this is something that we're quite new to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, what has been the biggest challenges or the biggest challenge that you have faced so far during this journey?
I think one challenge is to kind of script the videos in a way that's different from when we are writing news stories. Because the two of us write all the scripts.
Right.
So previously we were writing for articles, and when you write an article, it's a bit more structured, it's a bit more, you know, not long-winded, but like your sentences are longer, there's more detail. But in a video, you only have like 90 seconds or 120 seconds to get your message across. And you really want to like script it in a more conversational way. So that was very early on a very big challenge that we face because we're so used to like writing for news, writing for the newspaper, and we weren't used to like writing conversation.
Right.
I guess over time we realized that the best way to write it is just to like talk to each other. So we just kind of write it in a way that we would speak to each other as friends, and then that kind of just made us realize, oh yeah, we could just script it in a way that, you know, is a conversation between the two of us as friends, and it doesn't sound as forced. Because, you know, sometimes when you script a two-person script, it can sound like, oh, one person is asking a question and it's very forced, and then the answer is very forced as well. But we wanted it to be authentic, so we kind of have come to like script it as a more natural conversation. Obviously, it doesn't work every time, but that's why we have the team to like give us their input and tell us like when they think something's not scripted as well as it could lah. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was expecting an answer. Maybe you say, "Oh, I used to practice it on Twitter," because like, remember Twitter back then had a limited character, right? So I thought we were like, okay, I remember my days using Twitter, so I can like script a very short 90-second video. But like, you know, those are some of the things that I've seen people online, content creators specifically, they put such experiences into their so-called scripting work. So but unfortunately, gone were the days where Twitter or X these days, right, have limited characters now. It's all like whatever, how many words you want to put, paragraphs over paragraphs. So good to know that there's a lot of collaboration in what you do. So my next question is, out of all the videos that you've done, which one has been the most fun to work on?
Most fun? That's a tough one.
Yeah.
And I honestly, the videos that we did during the GE, they're like so far in the back of my mind.
Maybe don't think about GE. Let's look at just the most recent.
The video that we did on nominated MPs, that was quite fun. It was like our first shoot in the dark. So we found some random like office space in the office, not even in the ST newsroom. It was like on some other floor in some other block. But it was completely dark, and we had like torch lights and the special video lights that they use. And we had like these. We brought like a costume lah. We had like a hoodie, and my colleague, she had like a little like scarf and some kind of our colleague's wedding dress was used as like a to add to the mystery of it, because it was a laced kind of material.
Dress.
So we played around with the shadows, because we like accidentally cast the light onto the wall, and the shadow was like phenomenal. So we realized that actually, to add to the mystique of like, basically we're trying to show that the nominated MPs, the way that they are selected, there are some criticisms that it's not as transparent as some people hope that it can be. So we thought that, there's this special select committee that chooses the nominated MPs. It's like very mysterious. The process isn't really known to the public. So it adds to the vibe and the feel that we wanted for this video to be like in the dark and with shadows and like with this secret committee like behind the scenes choosing who gets to be an MP. And that was really fun, because I think a lot of the video was like improvised. Like we didn't know that we were gonna do this or that, but in the moment we just thought it'd be funny, and we just went with it.
Sounds so fun. You guys should release a BTS video lah.
One day maybe we should.
At least people will know like, this is the kind of work that you do. And again, video content creation, usually the best things happen by accident.
That's true.
Well, I've honestly enjoyed myself in this conversation, but before I let you go, how do you want to be remembered as a journalist?
Okay, I honestly think that is like very early on in the career to be talking about how, I want to be remembered, and, it might come across as also like a bit self-important. And I think at the end of the day, it's not like how I want to be remembered, even if I have done this for a long time. It's more about like how I want my daily interactions with the people I work with to feel. And I hope that as a journalist, that the people I work with, the people I interview, will see me as a journalist who is sincere, who is compassionate, and also as a journalist who is like relentless. Because oftentimes I feel it can be quite difficult in Singapore to get information, whether it's from public agencies or whether it's from people, because naturally people are a bit more guarded. I don't know whether it's a cultural thing or like just something that we've come to grown used to. But as a journalist, if you're relentless, actually you will find all kinds of ways to get to the information and all kinds of ways to gather as much intel or evidence as possible to put to the people who might not want to share. And then when you put it to them and they realize that you actually have all this information, they might be more open to sharing, or they might feel like, they should share with you, to give their side of the story. So yeah, I think that relentlessness is something that I hope comes through in my work, whether it's like through the videos when we are doing the research for it or the interviews for it, or when I'm doing like traditional reporting. Like that relentlessness and that drive is something that I hope that my interviewees can see, and also like that sincerity to tell their story well, and not just to like treat them as interviewees who we just speak to for one story and then just never speak to again. Like honestly, like the interviewees, a lot of them become contacts who you kind of keep in touch with and occasionally check on, and occasionally they also write to you about issues that they face or like things that they think might be interesting to you as a reporter. So yeah, those relationships I really, really treasure, and it's all about like being sincere and also intentional with how you speak to people, I think. Yeah.
I see. So what's next for you, bro? Are there any exciting stuff for you coming up?
I think last year we had like this event where people who watch our content, they actually came to the newsroom to speak with us, and we took the chance to find out what they want to see.
Okay.
And actually some of them mentioned they wanted to see longer form videos from our team.
Right.
So we're thinking about how to do that, how we can do that, and how we can come up with maybe like 5-minute videos, 10-minute videos to kind of delve into an issue a bit deeper. Rather than doing like these like 2-minute explainers, which are honestly very fast, right? Because you watch it 1 second and the next second is like gone. So yeah, we're thinking of ways that we can do longer form content. Maybe not so funny, maybe a bit more serious, or a bit more interviewee based, more like
a podcast
on the ground kind of. No, not so much a podcast, but like the more documentary style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're thinking of how we can do that as a team, given that we are very experienced, or at least more familiar with the short form side of things now. We're thinking of how we can take the audience's feedback into this longer form like format. Yeah, so it's something that we're considering, and yeah, we'll be quite excited to put that out eventually.
And I'm sure your fans will be very much looking forward to it as well. You've grown quite a huge fan base, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
like, honestly,
we're very thankful that people really, that the content resonates with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just very, very unexpected and very heartening to see that people enjoy watching it and they find it funny and they feel like they learn something from the videos. Yeah, and we're very thankful. But we know that like the audience doesn't owe you anything, the audience doesn't have to stay with you the whole time. So we are very thankful that people have stuck by and continue watching them. And we're happy to like keep making the videos and grow the audience even more. Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to more success coming from you and your team as well, Wong Yang.
Thanks,
well,
Nas.
thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
All right, and that's all on Extra Large.
This is Extra Large!